Hello, dear listeners. Now I am back on this channel, and it took now really long time, many weeks, months. I want to apologize to those who were waiting, who hope for a higher frequency here. I also see in the comments that people are expecting me to interact with them more on the channel base, on the chat base, and I just want to apologize that I cannot do more. I'm doing this channel privately. I don't have any staff. I don't have any help. I'm quite a busy person. I have a lot of work. I have a family and so on. You maybe know the situations. And I'm really trying to help somehow Ronald Sanford, aka Ariel, the man who is sitting for so many years in prison for a crime he committed when he was a boy, when he was a child of 13 years. And so the news are that I now finally have some answers from the questions you have posted many months ago. You know that we had technical problems, then I was moving, and now finally we have some answers. I hope you still are able to get them. You are still following this conversation. And I will just start now reading the questions from your dear listeners and channel posters, and then I will read the answers from Ronald, from Ariel. So the first question was from Sponge, and he wrote, "I'm from Ireland, and we have a saying here, there's nothing so bad that it couldn't be worse." So my question to Ariel is, even though your situation is grim, do you ever consider that you could have avoided an even worse outcome in life? And Sponge added, "I would like Ariel to know that this story has touched so many people. The first time I saw him with Trevor McDonald, I cried for him, and I think about him often. I can't thank you enough for this channel, Konstantin. I was very happy to see Ariel was doing well, but sad to see his situation hasn't changed. It's so kind of you to reach out to him and to share your correspondence with us. Thank you, and thank Ariel." Thank you very much, Sponge. So here's the answer of Ariel. Did I avoid a worse outcome in life by being in prison? This is a question I can only answer with an hypothetical conclusion, because who knows? However, statistically, the demographics which characterized my existence at that time predicted failure looming. So, Sponge, this is your answer from Ariel. The next question, or next series of questions, came from a person called Ivan Pashov. And he had 3 questions to Ariel, and Ariel answered all of them. The first question is, have you always had a positive mindset, or was that something you developed over time to cope with the tough and toxic environment? The answer from Ariel. The positive mindset is something developed over time, not merely as a coping mechanism, but as a life anchor. The constant building up of feelings like anger, irritation, and rage conditions one negatively, and that energy shapes through patterns. Negative energy produces negative thoughts, which heads to a negative perspective, and ultimately negative behavior as a result. Thus, it's necessary to fashion in an active resistance to the mentally degrading forces that are the very infrastructure of the facility. The healthy attitude, candor, loving spirit is the medicinal prescription for daily well-being in such a tough, toxic environment. Second question, do you sometimes get angry at the prison system and its inefficiencies, or is that something you just become accustomed to by now? The answer of Ariel. Yes, I'm accustomed to the glitches in the matrix. The inefficiencies of the systems are practically guaranteed from time to time, as if they were built into the equation. There is nothing I can do about certain administrative issues, so I don't worry about them. Circumstances directly affecting me certainly cause irritation sometimes, and perspective must be regained ASAP, because although I lack the controls to stop the trauma of the environment, I fully possess the wood that kindles the fire relative to my anger. Third question: what is the first thing you're going to do when you get out? Heal, green and blue as far as the eyes can see. Yeah, this is really a strong answer. Wow. Okay, Ivan, this is your answers on your questions. Let me see. All right, and then there is a last question Ronald answered. It's from the J, and I just read the whole question from the J, and here it is. Unbelievably, today I came back to check on the documentary where I first learned about Ronald Sanford. If there was a case where someone could be given a second opportunity after a legitimate punishment, all the years he has been in prison already, it has to be this one. Yes, what he did is unforgettable and unforgivable. A second chance does not mean it's forgotten or forgiven. But we can't be proud of a system that does not feel any empathy when it's due. I would like to ask Ronald Sanford if he thinks that he was on his way to become a career criminal during these teenage years. In other words, the time he has spent in jail redirected his life in some way. Hope the question is not misunderstood or worse, taken as disrespect. Thank you, the J. And here is Ronald's answer to you. Honestly, I don't think it's possible for a young person to conceive of career, criminality, lacking the wealth of life experiences one would assume a professional lawbreaker would possess. There may be an overt mode of mischievousness intent to engage in disruptive behavior, exhibit violence, or express other apparent juvenile tendencies, inner-sized impulsively in given moments or circumstances. It may be a regular pattern, but I have to say, ultimately, a child's worldview is fundamentally different than their experienced adult counterparts, responsible for helping to shape said perspectives. It's almost like an oxymoron, a juvenile career criminal. No amount of adjudications could justify or validate the label's application to someone young in the formative stages of their very existence. So this is the answer to you, the J. And so this is all I have for the moment. I just want to let you know that Ariel received all your posts, all your letters. He was very, very touched. As I maybe said before, he was crying when he was reading all these posts. I will continue to send him your messages, but please, again, please apologize. Please understand that I will not be able also again to interact with your posts. If there is something really important, I will try to figure it out and try to react on it. But I read it and I'm really happy and grateful, and thank you very much for all your support. Please spread this around. Please let us create still some awareness for Ariel. Maybe another information concerning his trial. This has been postponed. I think I have mentioned it the last time. It has been postponed to next year. So there is still some time. You know that I also wrote a letter to the district attorney, Mr. Mears. There was no response. It was maybe to be expected, but I try my best. Maybe others, maybe people from within US could send letters to him. I think this is gonna help. And so please support Ronald Sanford, aka Ariel, a man who I think is fully rehabilitated after many decades in prison. And so thank you very much. Take care. I will keep you updated as soon as I can. Bye bye.